This is In the Parks and Beyond, the podcast where we dive deep into the magical world of Disney, explore the thrills of Universal, and venture beyond the parks. Join us for insider tips, expert insights, and world-class recommendations on the best rides, shows, and hidden gems. We'll take you on culinary journeys with top food picks and share exciting adventures from destinations around the world. So, pull your lap bars down and head into the parks with us as we embark on this roller coaster we call life.
Welcome back to In the Parks and Beyond podcast. I'm Josh.
I am Jerry, and welcome. We're changing things up a little bit today. I'm taking this through the episode. Josh, how you doing, man?
Yep. I could be better. You know, I definitely came down with the Disney flu, but I'm getting over it. Those kids got to start washing their hands before they touch things in the parks.
Or stop peeing in the lines. Yeah.
If you missed that, that's previous episode.
Yeah. Oh, man. I feel you, man. I'm the same way. I've been sick for almost 3 weeks, so it's definitely going around. So hopefully you feel better. Hopefully I feel better. And sorry if my voice isn't usually what it is. And if I sound congested, if I look away, start coughing, not bad.
And I apologize if you start hearing me coughing everywhere. I do my best to mute the microphone, but just bear with us.
The commitment we have, Josh. The commitment.
Now, where are you taking us today, Jerry?
Yeah, so the anticipated news that we've been waiting for coming from Disney for Hollywood Studios, Muppet Courtyard.
You mean the bullcrap announcement?
Yes. How are you feeling?
Listen, I get that Muppet's Courtyard isn't as popular as it once was, but I don't think that that's where it should have been. And I don't want to hear people crying, but the backstage areas is people that work in the offices behind it. I don't care.
Build them somewhere new. It's like
Disney owns so many acres of land that they could easily move those backstage offices.
You got it.
There's zero reason that Animation Courtyard should remain open.
Absolutely.
Let alone Star Wars Launch Bay.
No, absolutely. I mean, and the silver lining to it, at least they're not completely doing away with Muppets. At least so like at least they're doing something for it.
I'm actually pissed about that announcement.
Yeah. Well, I remember a few episodes ago I said that would be one of my changes would be Rock and Roller Coaster, just because Aerosmith's retiring and this new generation isn't really too familiar with it. I
wanted the Goofy movie.
I know.
I want Powerline.
But, I'm optimistic about it. The concept art that they've shared looks pretty cool. So we'll see. I'm not going to be a hater on it just yet, but I definitely do feel people's pain about, Muppet's Courtyard. And, they only have so many places, which is, I'm calling BS on that. But we'll see. We shall see. I mean, a lot of people are upset, but
as someone who goes to Disney all the time, I have seen the Hollywood Studios parking lot at every point of the season. There's plenty of room to take some from the parking lot.
I was going to say that, like right under the Skyliner, that long stretch, that back parking lot there.
Where the Star Cruiser is.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
I know they don't want to demolish the multi-million dollar baby, but
you mean the multi-million-dollar failure?
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Hey, I'm just speaking the truth on this one.
But I would like to see Muppets 3D moved.
Yes. Well, they did say they're going to preserve it, so
I have an idea. But do you have an idea?
I don't have an idea. What's your idea?
So, remember how we were talking about the NBA experience?
Okay. All right.
There it is. Now, knowing Disney, they would charge for it, but I think that it would be cool if they turn that into like a Jim Henson Museum.
That would be actually really cool.
And then inside of the museum is Muppets 3D.
I like that, actually. And yeah, actually, and give Disney Springs a little bit of a touch with it too. So I like that, actually. That's a good idea.
It would give it something better than shopping in the circus.
No, absolutely. No, that's actually a really good idea. Really good. I would never thought of that one, actually. That's pretty solid. Like when they said the preserving, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Like, are you gonna put it on DVD and sell it? Like, that's what it seems to me.
Yeah, seriously, you gonna sell it, or like you're gonna dig a hole and put it in a time capsule and we'll open it in 100 years? What are we doing?
the Jim Henson Foundation or the studio did say that they look forward to its next curtain call, or so
Gotcha,
I
okay.
assume. I don't think that they would have let that happen quietly. I think that they would have been publicly fighting it if there was no plan in place. But I don't know. I'm excited for Monstropolis, but it's just not where I would put it.
I agree. And I mean, I'm not mad at Pizza Rizzo. They're going
You don't like rat pizza?
that, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I guess I'm not one of the ones that's really too bent out of shape about it. Like I get the decisions they have to make, but there are other places that they could have
Like
gone.
you said, I'm not bent out of shape. I'm
Yeah.
more upset at the Rock and Roller Coaster announcement than I am at losing Muppet Courtyard.
Yep, I agree. Well, because it makes you wonder now, like, what are they going to do with that area? Because are they actually going to turn it back into a Muppets? Because, like, you have, well, what was the Race Academy, but now it's going to be
Which is going
shifting
to be the
over
villain
into a
show.
villain show. But, like, how long is that going to stay until, is that going to
Right.
stay forever, or is that going to stop once, the Villain Land is open? And
Right.
at that point, are they going to revamp that area and build another land? So if that's the case, then are they
Like a
going,
new Muppets Courtyard.
yeah, are they going to build something new for it or extend it or
The thing
question mark?
is, my problem with what they're doing to Hollywood studios is you're going away from Hollywood.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, you can. It's the same thing they're doing at California Adventure. They're taking the California out,
Out of it. Yep.
and it's becoming all IP.
Yep. Now,
So
do you think, here's a hot question here, do you think they'll eventually change the name?
I think they have to. I mean, I don't
I
think that
agree.
I don't think they can continue to call it Hollywood Studios if nothing about it is a studio.
I agree. Yeah, that's fair. Very fair.
I mean, honestly, it's like they're going into Universal's thing where you're going into the movie instead of being in the movie.
Exactly.
Like you got rid of the Great Movie Ride. That was, I think, honestly, that was the downfall of Hollywood Studios. And I might alienate a lot of people, but Galaxy's Edge was not what any of us wanted.
No,
I wanted
agree.
Tatooine.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think that we had mentioned this before. I feel like that was a Disney reach to reach the Harry Potter
Yeah,
universe
well, the thing is,
aspect.
Disney had a chance to have Harry Potter.
Yep. I
Right.
know.
And Disney had the chance to have Harry Potter, and they fumbled it because
You got it.
instead of giving J.K. Rowling creative
Full
control,
reign.
they were like, no, you need to sell us everything, and you're getting one single ride. Because
Literally.
I believe the original plan was to put it in New Fantasyland or Storybook Circus. It was supposed to take up that area, but they didn't want to give her any creative control. And
Imagine.
that right there is why Universal is starting to close the gap in the theme park industry.
I was just about to say that. As you know, I finally got my annual pass for Universal. I've been going last couple weekends, and honestly, I feel like Universal is coming very close to being the top tier for me over Disney.
So
I hate to say it, but
what a lot of people don't know is when I first moved to Florida, I didn't go to Disney again until 2020, like the end of 21,
oh, okay.
maybe early 22. We bought Universal passes. It was the first thing we did when we moved here. And we went, I think we went every weekend.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like I forgot how much I missed Universal. Honestly, it's such a good time there. I feel like, honestly, I was saying this to my wife because the first trip we went, not the first trip, but like when we first got our passes a couple of weeks ago, customer service, I thought I've had better experience at Universal than I've had at Disney recently.
Yeah.
Like the aspect of it.
I think there's kind of like a shift going on at Universal with
Yes.
with the culture there.
Yep.
For one, I love my Disney cast members. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely, of course.
I have just, to get a little bit off topic, I've just seen more of that what you'd expect from a Disney cast member happening at Universal.
Right. I was just about to say that. I feel like Universal trying more, if that makes sense.
I mean, personally, from 2021 to now, there's a huge difference in the way that the team members at
absolutely.
Universal act. I don't want to say act, but I don't want to say standards because I'm sure they always have had high standards. But just the way the atmosphere is at Universal
Absolutely.
is on par now with what you'd expect from a Disney cast members.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. Which is sad, but hopefully, I'm sure Disney will figure it out, and who knows? We'll see. I haven't lost hope in Disney. Trust me, Disney. Still, I will never stop going.
Right, and I think the thing that bothers me the most about all these announcements is they're not expanding. I mean, besides Magic Kingdom,
That's
they're
it.
not adding capacity.
No, not at all. They're only just revamping.
I think the only thing that, like, if you look at the monster, the only thing they're building extra for Monstropolis is the ride building for the roller
Yep.
coaster.
That's it.
But there's no space expanding, and I think that they keep building all these hotels, which is fine. I'm sure that, I mean, that doesn't matter, but when it comes to theme park capacity, it does matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, it leads you to the question now. Do you think at this point with the announcement that Disney's given us of what's coming, do you think they're just trying to appease the crowd right now before they announce a new park eventually?
I don't think we will get another park announcement. I would say on the conservative side, 7 years before we get a fifth park
Think so?
announcement. If Universal has huge success with Epic Universe, which I think they will,
I agree.
I think we'll get an announcement sooner,
I was about to say that. I think
within
they're
the next
waiting to
5
see.
years,
I think you're gonna wait to see the launch of Epic to see how that works.
because
Works out.
I'm looking at the timeline with Tropical America slated to open in 26, and everything else is rumored to open between 27 and 30. So I'm thinking that in about 5 to 7 years we'll get a fifth park announcement. But then I feel like at that point Universal will have already announced the expansions for Epic Universe.
I was just about to say that. Like Disney's in the position right now where it can't wait too long to announce things because they're gonna be playing catch up the rest of the time.
And I know people are going to say, well, there's no catching up because Disney's miles ahead of Universal. While that may be true statistically, in the public perception, they're not. I mean, the amount of comments I have to delete a day on people's very vulgar thoughts about Disney, but like no one's commented anything negative on my Universal stuff.
No,
So there is a public perception that Disney is miles behind Universal, even though statistically Disney is miles ahead of Universal in terms of theme park share and all that.
sure. Like, yeah, if you're talking like number wise, yeah, there's no competition at that point. But again, Universe opens, they're gonna close that gap.
They're
So
gonna
it's like,
They're gonna close that cultural gap. I think that they're definitely gonna have a boost in attendance. But I think the smart
absolutely.
thing that Universal did, even though I hate it, is that they're making people visit the other parks still.
It's an vacation.
So they're making you buy multi-day tickets. Now I wish they would offer more days for people that aren't pass holders to go multiple days. Like, at least as a pass holder, we can purchase single day tickets.
Sure.
I don't know. I just think that it's a genius way for them to make sure that the other parks aren't empty.
No, absolutely. And actually kind of leads me to the next question, actually, because kind of piqued my interest about how they're going about like their tactics of how they're going to open Epic. Not to steer us away from Muppets, but I think we've kind of talked about that enough. But do you feel when Epic opens, do you think we're going to see like the wait times like we did when Wizarding World opened?
I want to say no because I am excited to go and I don't want to wait in line. But I think that if they do it correctly and they limit capacity correctly, I think that a handful of rides will have those
Maybe.
wait times.
Yep.
Or, and I hate this, we'll see virtual queues go into effect like that. Now, at least at Universal, they do virtual queues like 4 or 5 times throughout the day.
Yep.
Unlike Disney, who does one and two. But I do think that at least the super popular rides, like the Monsters Unchained, the Ministry of Magic, I think that those and Super Mario Land, I don't see a mad dash as much. I mean, as much as I'm
Hopefully
excited
not.
for it, I don't see a mad dash for How to Train Your Dragon. Or
I do see it for Dark Universe though.
yeah, I see Dark Universe. Starfall Racers looks like it has pretty good capacity. With it being dueling, it'll probably have multi trains. So I think that won't be too bad. The Werewolf coaster looks like it has low capacity per an hour. So I think you'll see long wait times there. I know that the ride system is similar to Forbidden Journey for Monsters Unchained. So I think if you can compare the waits on Forbidden Journey at the busiest time of year, that's probably what we'll see over there.
Joker.
And then Super Mario, just like at Hollywood, is probably going to be packed to the brim. Honestly, might even avoid it. As much like I saw it in Hollywood, so I want to see Donkey Kong more than the Super Mario part. But if it's crazy, I'm willing to avoid it and go at a later time.
Absolutely. No, I agree, and I hope that's not the case. I can only imagine how Universal's feeling right now with like the stress about how it's going to open. Because think about it, when's the last time like a major theme park had a huge opening like this in the United States?
1998, probably with
saying.
Animal Kingdom.
So it's like, yeah, things have changed since then. So it's like they can't really go back and be like, that worked well, let's do that. We're not in that time anymore. So it's like, imagine how like the stress on their plate. Because you think about it, the way they roll this out will show their success for it. So like if it's to excuse my language, but if it's a shit show when it first opens, it's going to deter people for a while.
Which is why I chose as a content creator not to go on day one. Not because it's going to be crowded, but because I want the kinks to be worked out by the time I go.
You got it. Yep.
I learned my lesson with going on day one of Jollywood for the brand new party. Talk about a.
Yep. I have heard it's much better now this year.
I mean, it was such a crap show that every single person got a refund for the first night that asked for it.
Awesome. That's great.
I mean, we lost an hour, like almost an hour of party time waiting to get our wristband.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, see, like that kind of stuff is like how do you feel that bad? Like, honestly, like it's not like you're opening like anything new. Like, sure, it's a new event. I'm sure it's Disney, but like at the same time, it's like you're the king and queen of those kind of things with events. So it's like, how do you fumble the ball?
And I don't get how you can charge what they're charging for the party and not offer something complimentary, like at Universal. I mean, not Universal. Magic Kingdom, you get cookies and hot chocolate.
Exactly. Yep.
So what? Like I couldn't get like something. I don't know. I'm not like saying give me tons of stuff, but you could have get hot cookies and hot chocolate there too.
Yep. I agree.
Or since it's Hollywood, you get champagne and cheese. But it's just little things like that are what people get mad at. And
the small things.
It's the like, I think that I guess I know Disney can't please everybody. Someone is always going to complain about something, but when you start charging nickel and like, mark my words, multi-lane is going to be gone by the end of next year.
Well, that thing is
the fact that it's now already dropped. It's been selling out and it's dropping to that anyone can buy it now. I think that the days of multi-pass will be gone by the end of next year.
You think?
I think.
Okay. I mean, I don't know people are buying it, but it's like,
now,
I don't know.
I do think that Disney needs to kind of do what Universal does if they're going to do it and have two tiers where one is one ride per time and then one is unlimited.
Yeah.
Because Disney's charging the price they're charging just because they can.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, they could charge $20 per pass and that'd be it. It's not like they have there's no like they're not losing any money if they charge $1 for it because the rides are going to be operating no matter what. The employees you have on are going to be on no matter what.
It's just extra ways of how they can make money off of it.
So they could charge a lower price per single ride per day, per ride, and then have the higher tiered one, which is unlimited rides on any ride you want to go on, like Universal.
Yep. Or they should create like a separate tier where like certain dollar gets you the big attractions, like Rise or Guardians or things like that. Like so if people don't want to sky out that much money, they could, I guess we're kind of getting away from that kind of, I guess like you have to draw a line somewhere of what you have to offer, but I don't know. I think what they're offering now,
why not go back to the 1950s Disneyland style where they had
about to say that
the
tickets,
attraction tickets. I mean, that's like where it feels like it's headed.
Pretty much.
Just the way you're paying hundreds of dollars for admission, and then you got to pay hundreds of dollars to not wait in line.
Yep. Well, it's kind of crazy if you think about it now. It's like you're already paying to get in, and like you have the lightning lane to where you can pay the one time to get on to skip the line. So it's like we're already pretty much already there. So it's like crazy, crazy times we live in.
I miss paper fast passes, but as soon as they realized that people would pay, never coming back.
Yep. But yeah, I said this a long time ago. I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't done that sooner. 'Cause I'm like, it's a way to make money because people complain about it, but they're still going to pay for it. So I was like,
I mean, I go so often that it doesn't bother me because I don't have to pay to see go on the rides. If I don't go on a ride, I don't go on a ride. But for people that go once in a lifetime, that's a huge added cost on what they have to save for.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm sure people can say, well, they don't have to pay for it, but they do. I mean, realistically, if it's a once in a lifetime trip and they want to ride everything, they're gonna need it.
Yep. Oh, I agree. It's like even like before I moved down here too, like there are times where I like had to sacrifice like where I wanted to go on, so it's like, it's crazy because like sometimes it's like for example, like just a few years ago when, Flight of Passage was like 5, 6 hour waits, and
Yeah.
we're just like, no, I'll ride you in 2 years. Yeah. It's crazy, it's I don't know. I mean, I guess, there's no appeasing everybody, and I understand Disney's trying to find a way to find a happy medium to appease those who don't like the wait, because there are people who are like, give me it, I'll pay it, let me on,
Right.
and I won't lie, sometimes I'm that person. For me, I have a 45-minute rule. Like if it's more than 45, I don't usually wait. So like, just me personally, I just don't like sitting in line, but like I understand like they're just trying to appease people but like do I have the answer for it? I don't. But at the same time it's just like what you're charging for it and like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I like the multi-pass. I'm okay with that.
I like the idea of it, it's like I get it,
I'm okay with paying that. That like once in a while I'm okay with paying for multi-pass. Individual, like I'm okay if I have a set schedule that I have to stick to for a trip. I like that I can buy an individual lightning lane for Cosmic Rewind, so I don't have to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Absolutely.
I can plan around dinner reservations, so
Yep.
or lunch reservations. So if someone in the party doesn't want to go on the ride after they
Yep.
eat, can make
Absolutely.
sure that we have it before. So if they do get rid of multipass, I hope that they keep the individual ones open for you to purchase.
I hope so. Yep, I agree. Because, like I said, like that makes you feel like you're at a carnival, but at the same time, like I personally, I'm that guy that will purchase it. And I don't like waiting in line. So like even
I
if I'm
won't.
like even Guardians, like
Yeah.
even if I'm able to get a virtual queue, you still have to wait in the line. So it's like for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, do I still want to wait an hour in line? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna buy it.
It's funny because sometimes you'll get like a 2 hour wait inside, or you'll get
That's what I'm saying. It's
the
crazy.
15.
Yeah, it feels like you never know. It's like.
And then, but once you're in, you're screwed. Like, I wish that they would. I wish they had like a current wait time for the virtual queue type. But it is what it is.
Now that we're back in Epcot, I know Festival of the Holidays just started, and you were just recently there. What's your thoughts?
So again, it's not my favorite festival. For me, it goes Festival of the Arts, Flower Garden, Food and Wine, and then Holidays. And then again, Food and Wine Flower and Garden edges out Food and Wine because Epcot looks amazing with all the plays and everything.
I agree. Yeah.
I just wish that they had more offerings. I get most of the budget goes into Living with the Land, overlay, which is worth it. That's worth the wait if we're talking about wait times. But it's not like I don't really focus on the savory food for my reviews because the biggest thing there is the cookie stroll.
Sure.
So this year it's 5 cookies, and I did the Spaceship Earth tile, which is in Communicore Hall.
Does it taste like it sounds like a tile?
It tasted like a cardboard tile, yes.
Okay.
But inside Communicore Hall, they have the Spaceship Earth gingerbread, which does like a mini light show every half hour.
Awesome. Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool addition. It still looks like a college cafeteria, but I with Spaceship Earth in the middle now. But can't keep complaining about it. It is what it is. We're stuck with it.
It's ours now.
I mean, I am excited to see. I'm hoping that they do a lot in it for Festival of the Arts. But we'll see. After Spaceship Earth tile cookie, I got the cinnamon spice chocolate crinkle cookie.
Before you go there, with how bad that cookie was that you just mentioned, drop the price and how much it was.
Oh, dude, it was $10 freaking dollars.
That's nuts.
$10
cookie.
Freaking dollars for a cookie that tastes like disgusting moldy cardboard.
Canadians don't even charge that, okay?
Thankfully,
crazy.
the rest of the cookies were under $4.
That's so crazy. That's get
So
outta here.
obviously Disney's pulling at it's Spaceship Earth. You got to pay $10 for it. I mean, it's like
at that point for $10, they better be eating part of the ride. You know, like
I would rather have licked the side of Spaceship Earth than eat that cookie again.
is that where you get your cold from?
After that fiasco, I tried the cinnamon spiced chocolate crinkle cookie. That was my favorite of the festival so far.
Sounds good. That sounds really good.
Soft, but chewy, but not too chewy, full of flavor. It was good. After that, I tried the peppermint pinwheel cookie from Canada. All right, the flavor was okay. Like, it's a peppermint sugar cookie. What you gonna get? The texture, though, tasted like Play-Doh that was left to dry, but still kind of malleable. So it was very chalky, very doughy, I didn't like it.
Gotcha.
But the flavor was okay. So if you can get past the texture, the flavor was good. After that, I had the Snickers Doodle Cookie from the American Adventure Pavilion. There was no Doodle and there was no Snicker. The only Snicker was the Snicker candy bar. So I'm telling you, they just called it that to call it that.
The only sticker was that it was a joke getting it.
At least it was only $3 and change. And I saw a lot of people like, oh, this is so good. I'm like, do you have taste buds? Because I do, and I tasted nothing but sugar cookie.
So what you're saying is, you said $3 and some change. So if you take it back a little bit, you could get 3 of those cookies almost for the price of the one Spaceship Earth cookie.
Yes, you could. Now, it's
crazy.
funny you say that because Disney this year decided to sell a little Tupperware container that says Cookie Stroll on it. Now, that's $24.99, but if you're a pass holder, you get a discount on it. You could go and fill that up with 6 cookies, and you would still pay less than you would at Crumble Cookie.
That's crazy. Wow. So, what you're saying is I should get the tote.
The tote, I mean, I'm just saying, you fill that tote up with cookies, you'd have cookies for a couple weeks. Free to cookies if you want. Like,
interesting. Okay. All right.
I could eat a couple cookies all in one stroll, but
I didn't say I'd probably eat them all.
I'm sorry to admit it, but you're like, oh, it's such a big cookie. I'm like, shut up. You're at Disney. Calories don't count.
Yeah, literally.
You're walking around World Showcase. If you're like me, you do it multiple times in one day.
Yep.
After the Snickers Doodle cookie, I got the hazelnut Linzer cookie from Germany. That was good. That's like the sandwich with the jam and everything in it.
Yeah.
That was good. Soft, kind of flaky. If I can kind of put that description on it. It was good.
What's the price of that one?
There was 3 something.
So again, you can get 3 of those.
Yep. Now I didn't get the holiday sugar cookie at Connections Cafe because it looks like I hate sugar cookies with sprinkles mixed inside of them. But that was for something. Yeah. And I did not check out the peanut butter cookie at Sunshine Seasons. But I don't think that would be any more than $5 either.
Gotcha. the wild one. I'm still caught on the $10. That is
it's just the Spaceship Earth tile that was outrageously priced.
why I don't understand. Like
Because
that's
I got
crazy.
that cookie and I was like, "Are you kidding me? I have to pay $10 a cookie. I literally only have $50 on me today to do the cookie
that's
stroll." So
that's
you can
crazy.
imagine my surprise when I was to see that everything else was $3 and change.
Man, you're like, I bought that cookie, then I had to go work at Disney to get the rest of them. Like, man.
Now they did have a couple new offerings this year. One of them being the Spaceship Earth cookie, the Spaceship Earth gingerbread. But they also have these little like snow globe, like they're not snow globes, but they're designed to look like a snow globe, and they have little scenes in them, and they smell. So one smells like snow and pine. One smells like gingerbread. One smells like apple cider.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I thought that was a unique and pretty cool addition
Oh,
to it. It's called Festive Fragrances presented by Scentsy.
interesting. Okay.
And then in another thing in Communicore Hall, they have what's called the Glittering Grove, which is like a bunch of fake trees at either end of Communicore Hall, like in it where the doors are.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like I was when the description is, where is it? Enjoy a seasonal display of phenomenal fake trees. So I was like, oh, so they must have like lined Communicore Hall with Christmas trees and everything.
Trees.
Dude, it's just the end caps. Like, they don't get me wrong, they made for a really good backdrop for the disgusting tile cookie, but and they make good for pictures. But that's like what it is. Like,
That's
if you
crazy.
like, I think that Communicore Hall would have looked awesome if you had a bunch of trees decked out in it with around and around Spaceship Earth. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
But again, it's just seating and merchandise and a booth.
Oh, cafeteria.
I mean, if you look at the concept art, man, we were supposed to have a Figment statue.
Yep.
So sad about that.
But yeah. This day.
Another new thing that I didn't do is the snowflake craft. You can create a memory that will never melt with your own paper snowflake.
Wow.
I wasn't drawn to that, so I didn't check it out.
Yeah.
But and then other than that, La Befana, Father Christmas, Pierre Noel, they're all back.
Okay.
And then the Canadian band is pretty good. They have like they sing in French. They do like just instrumental, and she sings in English. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good show.
All right.
I liked it. They're called the Holiday Voyagers.
Oh, okay.
Is what they're called.
We'll be getting over there soon. Fun fact, actually, I've never done Festival of Holidays, so it'll be a first time for us, believe it or not.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
Funny thing is, last year I don't think I went at all in December to Epcot. It was just such a busy month for me.
Sure.
And then we literally did it the last day of the festival.
Oh, wow.
And the cookies were not good last year.
Yeah, you were saying that. You were saying that.
I don't know if it was like
a little bit better.
I don't know if it was because it was like the last day and they were just sitting there. But and the prize this year is not another cookie. Last year you got the stupid Wish the Wish movie. You got like the star. You got in the sugar cookie form. This year you get a take home cookie gingerbread kit.
Okay.
I wish I had it next to me to show you, but it comes with sprinkles, M&Ms, and gingerbread cookie mix.
It's okay. So not terrible.
So I think that's way better than after five cookies, you can take it home and bake it when you want another cookie. You don't have to munch like when you do the ones at Festival of the Arts or Food and Wine, like it's usually the soft serve that they give you.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I want more food.
In my opinion, after with this cookie troll, the prize, what I think should be after spending $10 on that one cookie should be a Disney stock. It should be a prize. Like for the price tag on that thing. Come on, that's
$10 worth. $10 worth of Disney stock.
Like come on.
I mean, it was a pretty. I thought that was a pretty good prize. Especially because if you don't buy the $10 cookie, you're not spending that much on cookies
Exactly.
because you're paying like
So funny. Like I haven't even gone yet. I'm still bent out of shape, but you spend $10 on a cookie, and I'm like,
it's what
not
$15.
even a good cookie, all right?
Yeah, like spending probably $15 to $20 on cookies if you don't get the stupid $10 tile.
Yep. It's
So
not bad.
that's a pretty good
Wow.
prize. I will say this year's prize for the Olaf thing where you go like fire to find the stickers and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
It's coffee. It's or like he said it was like a stencil for cookies and coffee. I was like, really? I have to pay $10 for a stencil?
Yeah, that's just let me buy the stencil. You know,
Like for flower and garden, this was the prize. Little mini
that's
cornhole.
cool.
So like sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. But again, not my favorite festival. I'm counting down the days till January 17th, where I will be at Festival of the Arts.
Yeah, that's coming soon. Real soon.
I'm very excited.
I can't wait. That's gonna be fun. Like now that we're actually like living down here too and get to experience everything, it's gonna be fun.
Arts
Can't
is my favorite festival by miles.
Sure.
But
That's what everyone says though. So like that's to me, I think what
and
it's on itself, but
in my opinion, the least busiest.
okay.
Although this year, I don't know what Disney was thinking, but it falls on one of the cheer week competition weekends.
Oh gee.
So I was like, damn.
Again. Avoiding that weekend.
Well, I'm not. I'm going.
Yeah, I'll be there.
But I was like, I'm going to be prepared. I wish that they wouldn't be allowed to go to Epcot.
I don't really imagine. You can go, but you just can't go to Epcot because Josh said so.
Josh said no cheer groups at Epcot. Sorry.
Sorry.
I wish I had that type of pull.
Imagine. I said you can't go.
Who's Josh? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh man, but I think
Like,
that's
we're trying to get on as good grades with his food reviews.
Dude. Food and wine was awful. Well, I wouldn't say awful, but it was like nothing was over. Like the food was better at Arts and Garden, but the festival for food was average.
Yep.
And I can't stand the influencers who are like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing I ever ate." Like, stop glazing them because they're not going to invite you just because you're glazing them.
Literally, that's like they're watching that and they're like, "Come on, we know it's not even good."
Yeah, it's like the nachos we tried.
Oh,
The the Italian pasta nachos.
look, I'm not a person to like shy away food. That was hard to eat
Because it was like soggy, chewy, but also didn't taste good. So it was like a 3
so
for
bad. Yeah, it was so bad. But those peanut butter and jelly wings were really good.
Those are good. Those are good. Those are good.
Those are really good.
I hope they bring those back again for a third year.
Oh, I hope so. I'd eat those on a regular. I hope they just bring them back for good. You know, like, oh man, those are good. I can use some of those right now.
Oh man, but I think it's a good time for our final thoughts.
Yes, final thoughts.
And since it's your episode, what's the final thoughts question?
Yeah, final thoughts question is what is next for in the parks and beyond?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. This episode is going to preface our final episode of the season. I know we keep making it sound like it's like the last episode we're ever going to do, but
we're never having that.
But where after this episode, there's one more left for our season finale. That way we can focus on the holidays with our families. But what did we decide on? We're coming back in March.
I believe March. Yep.
We'll be back in March.
We'll be back.
But we're not disappearing.
No, we'll still be around.
we'll post on our things. We're gonna get together a lot more in the parks.
Yep.
We'll be doing some just live episodes
On Insta.
that aren't attached to any seasons, and they'll disappear into the void after we get off the live.
You got it.
But I mean, a little exciting is we're thinking of adding another host.
Yep.
Jerry and I are getting old. We need to. We're getting tired. We're just looking for a third person we can bounce ideas off of. And being two hosts, if one of us are down for the count, there's no episode for the week.
Yep, exactly.
If we have a third host, one of us can continue to keep it going. The amount of times I get the Disney flu, you'll probably be seeing Jerry a lot more than you see me. but yeah,
stop licking space first, John.
They got to start making it taste better than the gingerbread tile. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, exciting things are happening. Anything you want to add onto that, Jerry?
No, I'm excited. We still have one more episode of this season here, but I know you had mentioned about us looking to maybe add on another host, but also too, hopefully have some cool guests on next season too. So
how did I forget that? Yeah, we are going to have we may have some pretty long episodes next season because if we have a third host, we also want guests.
Literally, yep.
Which I'm glad Jerry said that. If you're a listener and I'm looking for a specific I don't want to say like specific, but I'm looking to interview a cast member or a team member, but I have a specific request. If you're listening and you've worked for either Disney or Universal for, let's say, 6 years or more, preferably a decade or more, we would love to have you on. I'd love to pick your brain.
For sure.
We won't ask you anything that'll get you fired, and if you don't work for Disney anymore, I'll ask you those questions. Don't worry about that. But it would be great to have a tenured cast member who's seen it all.
For sure. Yeah. Or even retired.
Yes, cool. Retired. Fine by that.
That'd be awesome, actually.
I would love to hear your perspective on the parks through the lens of a non-consumer.
Yeah, we'll get Walt himself on here. I'm joking.
That technology is probably close. You joke, but his head is frozen beneath Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Dude, that rumor always makes me laugh because I'm like, of all the parks, his head won't be frozen under Magic Kingdom. It would be Disneyland.
Man, I was about to say it would be Disneyland. It's like, but hey, only people can dream, right?
Yeah, people can dream. But with that being said, you can find me on all social media at Josh in the Parks.
You can find me at It's a Buzz Life. And is it.
And if you're keen, you can find the podcast at InTheParks_pod, Instagram and TikTok, and everywhere else in the parks and beyond. So put your hands up because your lap bars are coming up.